Mahala Monday. Wonderful to have you with us wherever you are. I trust things are just amazing, everybody. My name is Dougal. As always, she's here. Rhoda, Rhoda, Rhoda.
Good day, everybody. Good evening, everyone. I love dancing, so anything that makes music, I'm all happy about music. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope you got your cup of coffee or your plate of food and you're sitting watching the two of us now and basically enjoying our company tonight.
Yeah, because we've got quite a bit to talk about because the landscape of the world is changing, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And, you just need to sometimes simplify things and you need to make things easier and, just have it down in its simplest form. But we all know, and I actually want to say this because you might be thinking, what is he talking about? Well, first things first, right? We all know in the advent now, in the age of artificial intelligence, computers are taking over.
So
There's
true.
new stories of artificial intelligence, of things that are taking place right now as we speak, of course, making headlines across the globe. So it is very, very important. Any organization, any business, of course, they got to know how to handle their computers, and this is super, super important. Just even in your home, if you're going to make the investment, at least get everything you can out of the product you've purchased.
So true.
At least for that. So that is what our topic centers around tonight, Rhoda. Now, it's an interactive show, so we look forward to your contributions, your questions, your comments. I'm sure you have lots because I have thousands. And your comments are welcome, so join the conversation with us, of course. Just go ahead and get into it. So, do you want to know who we're talking about tonight?
Yes, please, Dougal.
All right, so let's get straight into it. Joining us tonight is Debbie Loubser, and she is with iSimplifi. And iSimplifi do exactly as it says. Shows you how to use a computer effectively. But so much more than just that. I'll make it not sound so really cool, but the person who knows all about it is, in fact, Debbie, and she's joining us. Debbie Loubser, good evening and welcome to Mahala Monday. How are you?
Rhoda and Dougal, thanks a lot for the opportunity. Yes, I'm doing very well and excited to be here and to share with you how we can help clients really move from frustration to great stuff on the computer.
Wow. And it is brilliant to have you here with us, Debbie. But, I mean, you've summed it up in a nutshell there because I had like a very important, like, what does it do and all of this. But you've said something that I think really speaks to the essence of everything. Because a lot of people, and, when they maybe at other people at a certain age, and I don't want to point fingers, but let's be honest, when people at a certain age, it is something that is frustrating because you see a 20-year-old, a 23-year-old do it, even with a cell phone, with smartphones. It happens like this. As soon as it's somebody else, it is like a 3-day event, isn't it? You don't know where to put it. And I mean, this happens all the time. Is it still at almost at the end of April 2023? Is it still seriously? It's still a problem?
Oh yes, I often see people who are not only frustrated, but irritated and agitated with technology. And it's not only young people, it's not only old people, it's also young people. That is for me in the way that we train Dougal, if we can move them from this frustration to, yes, I can do this. We help them build confidence. And in that way, they can start to use a tool that's nowadays, it's a life tool.
Yeah.
It's not something that's a luxury anymore. The computer and technology is something that is really needed in wherever you are.
Yeah, and you kind of described it there now. You said a life tool, and that was actually going to be my next question because I wanted to ask you. So, what was the need? And I mean, you've answered it now. Like, how did iSimplifi start? Where does this all come from? That's actually what I wanted to get to. But in a nutshell, let's change the question a little bit, and you tell us what exactly is it that iSimplifi do?
We have 10 short courses, and through our 10 short courses, we help groups as well as individuals in companies to equip them with skills in the Microsoft 365 package. So we have beginners, intermediate, as well as advanced courses in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, as well as Outlook. And then we have a lot of short courses that accompany this. Things like, for instance, an Outlook productivity course, where we help people that already use Outlook to just be more productive in it. Another course that is really, really helpful is our Staff on Steroids. In Staff on Steroids, we introduced keyboard shortcuts, where people increase their productivity through the use of keyboard shortcuts.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Keyboard shortcuts. All right. That sounds like a bit of a cheat. Do you know what I mean? It sounds like a bit of a cheat.
It's like a game is.
Yeah, it sounds like a bit of a cheat. Keyboard shortcuts. This is, this intrigues because I know one or two. I don't want to show off. I know one or two. Is there?
Okay.
Why is this important?
Go down Google. Let me tell you this. It has been proven that for someone who works behind their computer for 6 hours a day, if you do not use keyboard shortcuts, moving the hand from the keyboard to the mouse and back, they lose 2 seconds per hour. Now, that doesn't sound a lot, but if you calculate that over a year, it's 51 hours wasting moving your hand like this. So, close to 7 days in a year.
What?
Now, you can go and do the calculations. I asked ChatGPT to tell me what it was, and he told me that. So,
You see, there we go.
so you can clearly see that if I can help someone to start to use keyboard shortcuts, it's going to improve their productivity. Books that I wrote 5 computer books. 2 of them is available for free on our website, so people can anytime download them. But the one book is specifically on keyboard shortcuts. So there we took the ABC of keyboard shortcuts. So Control A is in all programs to select all. A stands for all. It's like when we were at school, A for apple, B for ball, C for cat.
Yeah.
Control E is for bold, whether you work in Word or in Excel or in PowerPoint. Control C is for copy, whether you
I
work
knew
in
that
Word.
one.
You knew that, right? So you can see it's really not rocket science. And in the olden days, it was only the tech people who really used this. But I see this as the modern shorthand of the world. We increase our productivity by just using keyboard shortcuts. The beauty of this is the fact that keyboard shortcuts were introduced when computers started, and it never changed until now. Keyboard shortcuts that started then stayed the same, whereas the icons at the top of our ribbons often change as the programs evolve. So some icons that got used to the icons at the top of the screen, when the programs change, they are lost. But those that start to implement the keyboard shortcuts find that it's easy for them to just move into new programs as they change.
Okay, so I mean, obviously you giving these classes, courses, and you're assisting companies to basically, obviously, make them more productive, and actually get more hours out of them if you really think of it, especially with the shortcuts. Do you have an example of a company that actually assisted and made a massive difference for them?
Well, Rhoda, I can just speak about one of the ladies that I helped at one of our retainer companies that we have here in Somerset West. And it was a lady where she had to, on a monthly basis, create a PowerPoint presentation for training for her staff. And she said she's so frustrated because it takes up so much of her time to create this PowerPoint presentation. And it was strange because she was not trained. So what she did is she printed the stuff out from the internet, and then she would rewrite it into her PowerPoint because she didn't know about copying and pasting.
Oh my word.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Those things. So I sat with her, I showed her more efficient ways, more productive ways to do this, and we could bring down the time that she spent creating a PowerPoint presentation from 4.5 hours in a month to 1.5 hours in a month.
Wow. Wow.
So, and that's the thing. I think often we don't realize how unequipped people are in companies. And once I can sit with them and I can see what they're doing, we can identify where are the places that they just need a little bit of guidance. And that will improve their productivity hugely in the company.
Yeah, and it is about, obviously it is about productivity because, that is a classic example, but I also know that a lot of companies will ask people, are you computer literate?
Exactly.
Do you know your way around it?
Yeah.
And people will go, of course I am. Who's going to now say I'm not, right? Meanwhile, maybe it is not the case. Is there no other way, other than knowing that you are slow at what you're doing, your productivity is not matching up, that you could measure that?
Well, I think it's usually for us, it's a matter of we provide for companies simple assessments. Then assess the person, bring them in, and once you see they have some building blocks that's not in place, put them into a training program. And for me, it's all about the value that the person has. If I show someone how to change a font, they can say, so often they would say, oh my word, I didn't know it's that easy. And immediately you build the self-value of this person, where in the past they was te skaam om te vra. And now they know, and they can go and show someone else. So it's really, for me, it's about building the person, and in that way also building the company of the value of the people in it.
So I just wanted to find out, because obviously you're talking about assessments now in training. So does the training take place at a center, at your workplace? How does it work?
So I prefer to train people behind their own computers. So the companies that we work with currently, they would either provide a boardroom where we bring the people in with their laptops, or some of them have their own resource centers where they have PCs or desktop computers that's already been set up in the resource center. And we train them there. It's also better to not take them off the ground because it's time away from work. And then we break up the training sessions in short 2-hour sessions with exercises after that, 2-hour sessions with exercises after that.
Okay.
So Debbie, because I want to ask you about like underutilized features, and especially when it comes to Microsoft 365, the software package. I want to get to that. I also want to ask you something that people commonly struggle with, but I want to now just go back to the future, really, because of something you said earlier. So you've written several books, 5 in fact, right? When it comes to this. I mean, you've obviously got a huge amount of experience, and you've been ticking numbers and assisting businesses to really scale and really push their productivity and all of that to do this. Is it, I mean, and then as Rhoda asked you, I mean, you obviously go to the organization if you go to a business, but in the time that you've done this with all these training courses, and you said 10 courses, how long is the longest course and how short is the shortest one?
Okay, so the longest one, and a very one that a lot of people would like currently, especially in companies, is our Excel Advanced course. That is 12 hours long. And the shortest one is 2 hours. So I would say the Windows and Filing course is something that's also popular because even though people don't like filing, a lot of people don't like it, it's something that's important on our computers. So our Windows and Filing is 2 hours, but our longest course is 12 hours, and that would be the Excel Advanced.
Wow.
Yeah, all right. Rhoda said that we've got a comment. Do we have a comment?
That's right, we've got a comment here that we'll
all right, let's we're going to get a comment up in a moment as well, Debbie, so we will get your take on it.
Mr. Hubert.
Hubert says we should embrace AI because I think it will augment our intelligence. Thanks, Hubert. We really should focus on being productive instead of busy.
There we go.
All right. Do you agree with that assessment of what Hubert is saying there, Debbie?
Oh my, if I should not start to talk about AI, about what it's doing. I think it's in a certain way, it's terrifying in a certain way. But it is, for me, as someone in this industry, it is so exciting.
It is, isn't it?
I'm testing quite a lot of AI stuff that we can start to implement those into our courses. But I think that's a topic for another day.
Yeah. Debbie, so let me get straight into the meat of this. How would you tailor your approach to teaching beginners to, let's say, more advanced users? And especially when it comes to that Microsoft software package that I mentioned earlier, 365.
Yeah, Google for me, there's a man that I have a lot of respect for. His name is John Maxwell. He's a trainer of pastors all over the world. And he says that people learn in 3 steps. Show you, you show me, and then you go and show someone else.
Oh, wow.
You think back about the days when we were at school, if you could explain a maths problem to someone else, then you actually knew how to solve that. And that's how we also tailor-made our training. So in all our courses, we have user-friendly notes that accompany all our training sessions.
Oh, wow.
It is 1, step 2, step 3. So in the training session, we have a PowerPoint presentation that explains the basics of the course that we are busy with, and there's a certain skill that will be showed on the screen, and then the people who are in the training session will copy what we did on the screen. So in that case, they first did it as they saw it, then they do it, and then with the notes, they can go back and they can go and do this again. So in that way, doing it 3 times. And obviously, if they run into an assessment that all our courses, well, most of our courses do have, then it allows them to do it a 4th time without us actually intervening there, but they have to give us the feedback in the assessment. So to come back to your question, with beginners, for me, it is always about giving them instruction manuals where they can go back and do this on their own. And then also using the language that we train them in the computer language, but not using language that is unexplainable to them. And then for the advanced, to tailor-made in the advanced, for me there it is challenging the people who are in the training with keyboard shortcuts, tips and tricks, and those type of things that will really help them improve their productivity. In our Staff on Steroids course, that's it's a beautiful 3-hour course that we, no, it's not the steroids that you think about. So we go into, with a group of people in a company, and we let them do a simple exercise in the way that they would do that. We then test how long it takes them to do the little exercise. Then we run through 50 keyboard shortcuts.
Sure.
After that, we then do the same exercise again, and we test what was the improvement in productivity if they applied the keyboard shortcuts. And we get an average of 32% increase in productivity by using the keyboard shortcuts.
Wow.
So that's obviously an advanced exercise, and it's beautiful to see that people see, oh my word, I can improve my productivity by just using keyboard shortcuts.
Sure.
Beautiful.
So what would you say, what is the most underutilized feature in that software package, and also when it comes to shortcuts in that 365? Because I keep mentioning it because that's like the, what do I call it, the universal thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I would say the one thing that I often, and that's not specifically a Microsoft 365 feature, but the one thing that I often see even advanced people an aha moment for is a split screen.
Okay.
Often people, if they work with 2 windows, they would minimize and maximize, minimize and maximize. And that really, it stops you in your productivity. So the moment I show them that they can work with two windows on one screen without buying a second screen, and they can move things from this one to that one, it's just, they can't believe what they see. And it's really nowadays with the Windows 11 operating system, they even brought in one little click and you can split your screen. On Windows 10, it's a matter of Windows key right arrow, Windows key left arrow, and there you have a split screen.
Oh, wow.
Sure.
As easy as that.
I mean, when you know what I'm thinking back now, like you said Windows 11 and Windows 10, and I'm thinking, my goodness, this is like, do you know what I mean? Let's not talk about what I'm using. It's okay.
No, let's not
Back
go
to
there.
help you, Dougal.
You see, we can send you. I'm sending Dougal. I'm sending Dougal. I'm sending.
And I'm one of the difficult students, man.
I do believe there's a comment again from one of our viewers. There we go. Hey, Mr. Heng. Hi there. He says, great topic, Debbie. And 26 AMP Nickay team.
Thanks for that. So Debbie, I wanted to ask you as well with when you answered, and this was just going back to what you were saying as well. Once people have realized, okay, here's a great shortcut. This is it. What is the immediate reaction? You know, people go, oh, that's like easy. I mean, that's what I assume they would say.
I think they do think that. Often people would say, but I will not remember that.
Is it?
And I clearly remember when I wrote my keyboard shortcuts book, I said to my husband, why are you not using my keyboard shortcuts? He said, because every time I don't find the book.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So, with that being said,
therefore, what we did is I created a small little cheat sheet.
Okay.
And during our training sessions, we give our clients that little cheat sheet that can be pasted on your wasted space next to your touchpad. So if you keep that little cheat sheet close by, then you will, as you start to use the computer and there are things that pop up that you think, oh my, she told me about that, you start to implement it. And the more you implement it, the easier it is going to come. So it's not always that you're going to use the whole range. But you'll find maybe 3 or 4 or 5 will help you in your productivity. And that aim is to find the stuff that's going to help you to improve yourself in your productivity.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, what we're talking about now is obviously, I mean, the training that you provide is obviously in using the software. It is really to cut out the waste time in any business. I mean, you as a business owner, you know, I'm not saying people are wasting time that works with her. But, you know, they get to the point at times. But the point is, it's about speeding up productivity and ultimately it's growing the business and delivering on your variables a lot quicker than what is expected. So everybody is functioning at an optimal level. That is the bottom line of management, I suppose, and a business. That is what they want to do. And it is in a space, though, of course, where it is challenging, it is tricky. You gotta stay on the best. So I honestly believe the best thing is to have somebody who is a computer training specialist come in.
Exactly.
And because this is a constant, and this is the thing why I find you absolutely essential like oxygen. Because this is something that constantly evolves. I mean, you said it now, Windows 11.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Do you remember Vista?
Vista.
Yes, Google and AI. It's something that is so useful if people just know how to use it now, and it saves tremendously amounts of time. If I think I'm Afrikaans, ek is 'n boer Afrikaans. So for me, if I need to create a proposal, I always look at my way of typing my English sentences, and then I think this is not good enough. Now I just pop it into ChatGPT and I tell him, please write this in better English, and boom, I am flabbergasted by what he's going to do.
Exactly. So I just want to find out, because obviously you're dealing with a lot of clients and a lot of people at the end of the day. What is the most example of the most common task that you're finding that people are struggling with on the computer?
Ooh, tidbit.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think we all know, if you work in Word, or you work in Excel, or you work in PowerPoint, before you can bold something, and this is not a simple thing, but now listen to me. Before you can bold something or underline, what do we need to do? We must highlight, okay? So highlight, you can't go to the next step if you don't highlight. So we all need to do that. Now, what most people do is they click, keep the button in, and then they drag, and then often they would go beyond the point where they actually want to stop. So if it's only one word, they would go past that point, and then they have to go back again and drag again. Now, time, if you sit with a word in front of you and you want to bold or underline it, all you do is go and try it. Stand in the middle of the word, double click.
Oh, wow, wait. I'm going to
Oh, all right. In the middle of the word.
Middle of the word.
Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I
And
wanted to do it. You jumped out. How come you did it?
You can, there, Dougal, you do that word.
No, it's
Do
fine.
that
I should
word.
click on quicker.
It works.
So
Do it
there
again,
you
do it
go.
again. Show them.
Yeah, so it's there, double
the
click.
middle?
Double click.
Ah.
I'm very impressed
And it
right now. I
highlights
need
the
to come
word.
in. I need to come and do this course. I need to contact
Please
you.
do.
Wow.
So if you 3 times click, it should highlight the paragraph, right?
1, 2.
Yeah.
Jeez, look at that.
Yeah.
Well done.
And yeah,
So
you
can
got
you see how
everything.
much time you save
Look at
instead of clicking and
then
dragging? And if you work on an assignment where it is 10 or 15 pages, and how many times do you have to double click? Or how many
Exactly.
times do you have to highlight?
Yes.
If you just double click, immediately you have it. So double click, Control B, Control U, Control I, you bold, you underline, and you italicize.
Listen to that.
Ah,
Well
you
done.
just- I like the whole thing because that's 2 seconds, right? So 4 words, that's 8 seconds. So you've just saved me 10 minutes, baby. I like it,
There
Debbie.
we
I
go.
like it. Debbie, so this
Debbie,
is it.
brilliant.
Because I mean, the proof is certainly in the pudding. Yeah, it is all here. And I can just see people are going to flood you. How do
Definitely.
people find you? How do they go about you? I mean, what is the website? Where do we go to?
Dougal, you can see there our website
Yeah.
is www.iSimplifi with all dotted I's.
Yes, there it is.
Dotted eyes.
I at the end. iSimplifi with all dotted I's. They can anytime go there and all my contact details are there. And please go and download those 2 free ebooks. The one ebook is about the keyboard. So there's about 45 simple exercises on how do you use escape and what is escape for? How do you use caps lock? How do you use shift? Even the function keys that's at the top. How do you use the FN together with the function keys? That's the one. And then the other one is tips and tricks on using the touchpad or the mouse.
Oh, wow.
So very useful for people who are beginners and would really just like to do quite a few exercises. And my cell phone number is also there. They can anytime call
Wow.
me or from there.
And 2 free ebooks. And one is on the keyboard, so you got to do that QWERTY quickly.
I'm so
All right,
going to
did it
go
work?
with
Did it,
your
uh,
website.
It didn't land? Oh, okay. The 2 of you not laughing, so the joke
We
didn't
didn't
work.
get it. We didn't get it. Sorry, Dougal. I'm still stuck with a double click and a triple click.
Yeah, no, the double click and the triple click certainly work. So that is where you got to go. You got to go check it out. Debbie, you know what? It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. It is really fantastic.
Thank
and
you.
I think we're going to have to get you back.
We have
Before
to
we
get
let
you
you go, any final thoughts, Debbie? Any final thoughts?
For me, it's about, I would love people to enjoy being behind the computer. And the computer is not rocket science. It's something that anyone can do. All they need is someone like me and our courses to come and to help them, to train them, to make them feel comfortable behind the computer. Because the moment we do that, we open up a world that they need and where they feel, oh my word, I can do this.
Oh, yeah.
And that is their value. And that is, for me, that is at the end the aim, is to build people in how they feel about themselves and what they can contribute.
No, it certainly
Brilliant,
is. It certainly
brilliant.
is. Debbie Loubser, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for
Thanks
joining
a
us.
lot.
Listen, thanks for telling us the double click and the
Oh,
triple click. That is
yeah.
now just that one thing
Just that one thing.
is gonna.
Wonderful.
I mean, I even
It
forgot.
changed my world.
Yeah. Even when you, I mean, earlier, like when you said, like, you know, all and bold and all of that with the alt, you know, and yeah, that rings a bell. But this double click thing is like a whole new thing now, and especially with touch screens and everything, it's like.
Stunning, great stuff, wonderful. I'm glad if I can contribute something to you too.
Totally.
I really the opportunity that I had to be here. Thank you, Dugo.
Pleasure.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Thanks for joining us. That, everybody, is Debbie Loubser. Yeah, from iSimplifi, of course. Debbie has penned a few books, authored a few books, and if you go check out the website, 2 free ebooks will definitely get you going, and you definitely lead it. But you know what? She said so many things. I think any business, any organization, because we were talking about this off air, and we were saying, you know, we're in a time everybody uses a computer.
Everybody.
And as Debbie said, this is not a thing now that it's a, how did she put it, an everyday thing.
Exactly.
It's an everyday tool. It is not a luxury. It is there.
Everybody's got a laptop or a computer, whatever. Those days of writing down is long gone.
It's gone.
You know, you need to move it quicker, faster. It's basically on your laptop or your computer. Like it is, double click, triple click on middle center.
I mean, how many times you do business and people go, nah, just send me a PDF.
Exactly.
Now you're gonna like, okay, I'm gonna get the PDF. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So this is how it works, and sadly you got to be
changing.
You got to be optimizing in this. And I think if you're a business owner or any organization, I mean, 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
This is what we're talking about. Listen, Rhoda, the rewards and the outstanding and world class is in the details. We hear say it's like the devil is in the details, but this is the 1% rules. 2 seconds. That's all it is. But that's 10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's an hour a day. It's 2 hours in the week.
Exactly.
Why did she say 50? What? A whole week?
Yeah.
Imagine
7
getting
days.
yeah. Do you know, if you imagine everybody in your workplace, they take 3 weeks holiday anyway.
Exactly.
All of a sudden that becomes 2, but they are still on 3 weeks holiday. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Just
Oh, well
saying.
done, Dougal.
Yeah, I've done the math for you.
He did the math.
I've done the math.
Well
What
done.
you got to do is go check it out. www.isimplifi.co.za. That is where you're headed right now. isimplifi.co.za. Simply as simple as that.
As simple as that.
Yeah,
So
I like
available.
Debbie.
And 2 books, 2 free ebooks.
I like Debbie with the double click and anything like that. Anything you would like to share that you've learned?
I'm very excited, Dougal, and I really
In the
think
front
I
of the
need
class?
to. Yes, in the front of the class. I was in the class. I felt like I was back in school now. So that was, it was really, really, I loved it. I simply loved it. So you know what? I need to go get those ebooks. I'm sorry, but I need to make my work a little bit faster.
Yeah, certainly. What you got to do is like and share this, of course, because somebody will definitely benefit from this in a huge way. So you got to lead them there. So like and share. Thank you very much for the comments. Absolutely awesome. And then once again, thank you very much to our guest Debbie Loubser from iSimplifi for joining us. And all you got to do is like and share this and go check it out. www.isimplifi.co.za. That is it from us, isn't it?
That's it. See you, everybody. Have a fabulous evening.
Until next time, thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.